So you guys, it's that time of the year again, and that is leak season, except for this time it's going to be for Black Ops 4 because just recently so much information got leaked out about the game that includes information about the multiplayer, the zombies experience, and even Blackout. And I want to go ahead and share all of that information with you guys. What is going on, you guys? This is GamingWithSal and welcome back to the channel. Now before I go ahead and get into any of the news or information that got leaked out about the game, I want to go ahead and make it clear that the source is really reliable. It's from a group of people that have been right about leaks that they have come out with in the past about games such as World War II and Infinite Warfare, and everything they have leaked out in the past have been 100% accurate for most of the time. So there's really no reason to believe why it wouldn't be accurate this time either whenever it comes to Black Ops 4. So I want to go ahead and kind of do like a spoiler warning because there is a lot of information in this that I'm pretty sure people would probably want to keep it a surprise for themselves. So I'll go ahead and say it again. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. You have been warned. No turning back. Can't blame me now for spoiling the game or anything like that. You had your chance to click off the video if you wanted to. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this list that's posted on Reddit talking about some of the information that has been leaked that includes things like weapon variants, specialist stories, famous characters from past games such as Woods and Reznov making a return, etc. So let's go ahead and just go through the list in whatever order that it's in. So the first thing that it's talking about is a new mode called Outboarding, and it describes this as a training or tutorial mode, and it features Sergeant Frank Woods and Reznov, and it also talks about how Woods is waking up from some sort of simulation, perhaps ran by the specialist organization. But at the same time, what's unfortunate is that it seems like this may have been cut or replaced by the specialist stories mode. So we might not get to see this in the final cut of the game. Maybe we will later on, who knows, but this is somewhere in like the code of the game. But anyways, since we went ahead and mentioned it already, let's go ahead and move on to the next thing, and that is the specialist stories mode. Now in this mode, we're going to get to follow our specialists and see where they have come from, who they are as a character, their background story, all that kind of good stuff. And if you guys don't know, I made a video talking about this with the Black Ops 3 specialists and how there were these things called transmission files that kind of give us a little insight of who these guys are, and some people kind of forgot about these transmission files back when we played Black Ops 3, and that those transmission files are going to be kind of connected with the stories that we're going to be seeing in Black Ops 4. So if you guys haven't checked out my past video talking about that, I highly recommend you do so. I'll go ahead and leave a card up on screen or somewhere like that. But yeah, anyways, the specialist stories mode are described as a small part of larger missions. These are what we will see, but there is much more to see for each specialist missions. So the leaker goes on and basically talks about each mission that he got to see or heard about, and these things include things like Ruin's mission and how he's using his grappling range to move around, and that battery is part of his specialist story. Firebreak's cutscene is the same as what he described it in the Black Ops 3 transmission, which is him trying to kill his father. Recon's mission is run by Battery, but it turns out to be a setup by the organization, and in this mission he has to make a very hard choice, something along the lines of killing a child, and he has to make the sacrifice to get recruited by the specialist organization. Crash's mission is about him owing someone money. Seraph's cutscene showcases the events she spoke about in her Black Ops 3 transmission, where she shared how she gained her cybernetic arm and Annihilator, and at the same time it also talks about how all of these specialists are brought together by a single woman who seems to be like the typical occult type of character. So overall, basically what this leak is trying to say whenever it comes to the specialist stories is that we are really going to get to see who these specialists are and get to learn more about them, and perhaps even feel more connected with them whenever we're playing with them within the multiplayer, because every single time we choose a certain specialist, we get to remember back on what they have gone through in their life and who they are as a person and all that kind of stuff. So I think this is pretty cool that they have this in the multiplayer, just because of the fact that they're not going to have a campaign within the game for this year's Call of Duty, and that a lot of people actually were upset that there wasn't going to be a campaign. And I know that this isn't the same thing as your traditional campaign, but this could be like the next best thing. So maybe for those people who were kind of, you know, like, oh man, there's no campaign for Black Ops 4, I mean, who knows, they could possibly look into the specialist stories and kind of come back, you know, to Black Ops 4 just to try something like that out, and perhaps even get into the multiplayer after playing with these specialists and their stories. So that's just something that's cool that they're adding into the multiplayer, and I'm looking forward to going ahead and playing these specialist stories. Moving forward from specialist stories, let's go ahead and talk about the weapons. Now there's really not much to talk about whenever it comes to this section of the leak, but there is development for 2 new weapons which weren't in the beta that include a small launcher that looks similar to the Black Silt in appearance and may be a lock-on only type of small launcher. In addition to that, there's also an assault rifle which is described with angular lines on its receiver and curved iron sights. Now there is a image for this assault rifle that's kind of like an artist's rendition, which is sort of like an outline for what the gun is going to look like. So if you guys want to take a look at that, you guys can visit the link in the description below that I'm going to leave after the video was done, because I don't want to put it up on screen just for copyright strike issues and stuff like that. So you guys can go ahead and check out these images for yourself later on if you want to. Now, moving on to the next section of the leak, which is events. So yes, it seems like that events are coming back to Black Ops 4, and I'm actually happy to hear this, because one thing I did like about Call of Duty World War II is all of the events they had for maybe some things that have to do with the holidays, or just sort of some big event that's going on within the United States, such as like July 4th and stuff like that. So I'm glad to see that they're already starting to, you know, make events for Black Ops 4. And the first event that it seems like they're going to be making for Black Ops 4 is an event something along the lines of the Day of the Dead, or some sort of Halloween event. And this includes Halloween themed supply drops. So yes, you guys, supply drops are definitely coming back, and it seems like they're kind of going in the route that World War II did, although this could change as Activision and Treyarch still make decisions on how to handle microtransactions in the game. So these guys at Treyarch and Activision are still supposedly trying to figure out how they're going to handle their supply drop system and how they're going to handle their microtransactions. Hopefully it's something along the lines of like World War II Modern Warfare Remastered, where we can actually get the weapons directly through the use of something like armory credits or parts, or who knows, they could even make a better supply drop system, which is kind of surprising seeing how Black Ops 3 was one of the worst supply drop systems ever. But who knows, maybe they learn from their mistakes and they're actually going to make it a much better system. But preferably I would still have it where there's no supply drops, but unfortunately I don't think that's ever going to happen. Anyways, moving forward, there's also proof within some sort of the game, some part of the code of the game. I'm not really sure how these guys get their information, but there is information that shows that there's going to be different weapon variants, just like how there was in World War II, which I'm assuming is only going to be cosmetic only. It's not going to be like stat changing variants, but just sort of variants where it kind of changes the look of the gun or the look of the weapon. So at the moment, the people who data mined the build of the game that they got their hands on found out that there was a weapon variant for the Vapor XKG, which is one of the assault rifles, and it's a weapon variant for the Day of the Dead events. So the weapon variant kind of has like a Halloween theme going on all around it, and you guys can see a picture of this as well. Once again, links are going to be in the description below if you guys want to check it out yourself. I'm not going to post it on the screen just because I don't want to get a copyright strike. And there's also another variant which doesn't seem to be themed after an event, but it's just sort of like a regular weapon variant, and it's the weapon variant of the MX9 submachine gun. Once again, the artist's rendition is also attached with this post, so if you guys want to go ahead and check out what that looks like, you can go ahead and do so. So finally, moving away from multiplayer, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic, which has been a hot topic for quite a while now, and that is Blackout. So apparently 2 maps have been added from Black Ops 1 and have been remastered into the Blackout areas, and those maps include Cracked and Array. There are doors in Blackout, just like in PUBG and Fortnite, which can be opened and closed. There are scavengeable items that are going to be working just like the way they did in the heist mode, and if you guys don't remember what that was like where we saw health packs and ammo packs just lying around all over the maps, and you kind of have to go up there and pick it up by pressing square or holding down square, and that's sort of what it's going to be like in Blackout as well. And while it's aimed to have zombies present in some of the areas such as Varuk, this may not make it into the Blackout beta, which is perfectly fine as long as it makes it into the final build of the game. I'm okay with that. And some people have data mined that there will be 100 players in Blackout, and these slots are just used for testing at the moment, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to make it to the final build of the game. So at the same time, for those of you guys who are hoping to see that there's going to be 100 players for Blackout in the final build of the game, I mean, who knows? There's a possibility because it is in the code of the game, but there's still no guarantee that that's going to be the final count that we're going to be seeing within the final build of Blackout. So don't get your hopes up too much. And finally, in fact, you do parachute into the map after gliding in on a wingsuit. So just like every other, you know, sort of battle royale game like PUBG and Fortnite, you're going to be flying in from the sky and being able to kind of mark where you want to like land on the map and be able to land there. So it's going to be basically like your typical battle royale game. And finally, last but not least, for all of you guys who are into zombies, there's only been one piece of information that has been leaked out for the mode, and I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to warn you guys one more time. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Okay, no turning back now. Blood of the Dead features a dog which you can call in just like Nomad's dog in multiplayer. Now, I have no idea what that means because I unfortunately never got to play Mob of the Dead back in the day whenever it came out, along with all the other Black Ops 2 zombie maps and Black Ops 1 zombie maps. I know, sad face, but I was never really able to get into Black Ops zombies until like Black Ops 3. So maybe for those of you guys who know what this means or just kind of have like sort of a reaction to it, let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below for those of you who play zombies a lot. But that will conclude all of the leaks that have recently came out. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about all these leaks. Do you guys think that this is all exciting news? Do you think that some of this news is kind of worrisome? Believe it or not, I have a lot to say whenever it comes to this leak, but I don't think I'm going to add that onto this video because if I did, it would go on forever, and I've already passed last 10 minutes whenever it comes to recording this video. So I feel like I'm gonna make a follow-up video just giving my thoughts about what I feel like whenever it comes to these leaks and what I feel like is going to happen for the game and the future of the game based on these leaks. So I hope you guys want to see a video like that, because I'm planning on making like a follow-up video for this one. Who knows? Let's see what happens. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys within this video. So if you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, click the bell icon so you'll never miss an upload, and follow me on my social media accounts to stay connected. Links are always in the description below, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye.